What's up, commanders? My name is Kaution, and today we've got a different video than normally. And I am joined today by my good friend Happy.
Hello.
And Happy is, in my opinion, a very respected player in the community. He's been around for a lot of years. So today I'm gonna show him a replay of mine, which in my opinion I did pretty good. And Happy is going to analyze that and hopefully make me a better player after this.
I'm gonna make him cry.
It's not what we agreed on before this video. Anyways, I'm in the replay. Just tell me when you're ready.
Ready now? Go.
Yeah. Alright, go.
Go.
Yeah, so I wanted to let the spectators know that that was my conyard.
Yeah, it's important. You wanna let people know that immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, even Morkel agrees.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a conyard.
It's a shiny one, limited edition. Ooh.
I always find that your rifleman just like sits outside the barracks.
The first one, yeah, the first one is always just checking if the coast is clear. But it's just, I need to be faster, but it's like, I'm so busy doing others, like I'm queuing all 15 and then a medic and an engineer before setting my waypoint. And that's my issue.
What you want to do?
Yeah. Just queue 5, then set the waypoint, and then do the rest.
Yeah. Shift F1, set waypoint, then queue it, because it takes time for him to get built. You don't have to queue him immediately.
I was proud of this though. This little sneak
that's
around.
beautiful. That's like gatekeeper NG snipes there.
I do this because on a lot of these maps, people like to go for engineer first and then their infantry. And I usually go like 5 infantry and then rifle, just to get that snipe. That's all I want.
Oh, love a good NG snipe.
And then I use them to scout his base afterwards. Like, I have nothing better for those to do. And then I was like, maybe I should keep the veteran one. Because like one guy does the same job as 2 in terms of scouting. So it would be like a waste to send in 2. Even though it's only 100.
Sure. The only time I'd ever send 2 in as a scout is just to kill the lone Ganon scouts, the Ganon rifles, because then 2 beats 1.
Yeah, that's true.
And also having these, his allies, that's a dangerous position for the rockets to be wandering out the barracks. I'd keep them just by the barracks and just stay still, and then bring the rifle blob back up to it, Because Rangers, their single infantry are currently broken.
Especially rockets,
right,
they just shoot one good burst.
Yeah, it's because rockets have less health than rifles for some strange reason. I don't know why.
Oh, I saw his ranger when he came to my base. I just saw it just in time, and then I was like, shit, I need to be careful with my rockets and shit.
Yeah. As well, if you see a ranger at that time, you went double ref, you placed the war factory down. You should know that he's war factory first, and he's exposed to your double ref army wherever you want to put it. Though that block is a bit nasty by him.
Yeah, but that's why I was waiting to put the pull box down.
Yeah. Yeah, nice war factory placement as well. They'll probably angle it a bit more, so actually that's fine with that ref. A lot of people are like, why not put the war factory with the big double ore mine? Because you gotta think, you want the harvester to come out on the ore instantly, but you also need to be in a good position to send your MCV out. Like with the barracks at the start of the game, you want your barracks to be nice and close, like in the direction of the oil derrick. Same thing with your war factory to get an MCV out. So if you're expanding top, that's a perfect
that's what I did.
Expansion route. As well, like the harvester's just gonna come out on the single mine, so no eco loss. Everything's
unfortunately, Morkel was right. I placed the war factory and didn't produce, so that's why I skipped. To catch up, I skipped the ranger and 1 harvester and went for the MCV.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Yeah, you don't want to delay the MCV.
No.
Very important you don't delay it. It's just important to get out on the field. It's what I say to new players all the time. You just want to perfect your game up to the MCV first off. so vital it comes out at the correct timing, which for double ref is about 4:30, which bang on 4:30 you've just got the MCV out. Well, a few seconds over. Yeah. But perfect timing there, which is quite nice. For War Factory first, it's usually about 3 minutes 40 to 50 if you only go power plant ref SD. But yeah,
and his MCV is about the same time as mine.
Yeah. What you might want to do though is, because you missed a half, probably double up on the expansion refs. So normally you go like power plant rax ref, power plant rax ref, go power plant rax ref, just to get that extra harvester out. Delay yourself a little bit, just to make up for it.
This was nice though. He couldn't do anything about this. The little push in his main.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You might want to hang back a bit, because like a pillbox can.
Yeah, that's why I pulled it back right now, because I knew I had the ref was in range to put a flame tower down and just rape my army there, but.
Yeah, and it forces not only does it force a response, it pauses the opponent. If you look at the top, you see that army of the 2 tanks. If you didn't attack his ore, that would have gone right in your main base. Yep. And looking at the position, probably would have been game over. Like, those vital seconds delayed that army. I mean, it's coming in now, but could have been a lot worse if it was earlier. Yeah, you probably don't want to split your armies up too much as you've done here. You've got like 3 armies in like 3 different places. Yeah. But especially in the early game, when you haven't got so much mass, you want to keep a good bulk together and keep it in a nice position that you can like rotate between your expansion and your main. Just in the early game though, like when you haven't got as many defense structures down, you know, you only really want to split off like once or maybe twice at a push if you've won a fight. But you held them off quite nice. Lost the War Factory, but you know, you didn't lose the game. That's how I see it. So it's an alright trade. Probably not alright. It's quite a bad trade, but you know, at least you haven't lost.
The only thing I took was actually his eco. Few harvesters, his ref at his second core.
I'd say it's pretty much an even trade once you factor in those harvesters and all the disruption you caused. What you might want to do as well with these multi-prongs, I can see top left, you're going in for the attack now. Wait till the enemy attacks you or you attack the enemy elsewhere, so he's not paying attention to it. Like his screen is focused on something else, and make sure your distraction that you're giving him has noise, so the noise of that army doesn't get scouted until after the fight. But what happens as well is you can go in for flanks like that, and because they're shooting while the enemy is looking at something more important, they get accustomed to the sound and then don't realize it's happening because they're used to the sound. It just sounds normal to them. So you really need to be patient with the multi-prongs and make sure you only do them at the best time possible.
Alright. That's good intel.
So like, you could have kept that army in the top left corner. You see that the 2 tanks and the little army in the middle, you could have pushed that into his expansion or something, or his main base. Like, its whole purpose is to die, just trade to death, but it gives you a window just to sneak that little army in and do some damage while he's not paying any attention. So far, look at the army graph. You're actually ahead. Their score. And Gore's known for his macro, so that's really nice. He's got you with a base push there, you should be able to clean that up nicely. I like as well, you expanded top left to that the double ore mine, rather than bringing out your main base MCV and going bottom. As you can see by his army down there, if you expand sideways too quickly and over expand essentially, but not only just over expand, making it so it's a huge distance to get to that expansion, that can be like really bad. So if anything, it's probably better to push aggressively to take expansions on the same side you have an expansion, rather than go top and bottom, if you get me, because it's just much easier to defend.
Yeah, I agree. And it was very close to my first expansion anyway, so I was like, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, you got a nice army lead. Earnings kind of even. A nice little split in the middle. That's what you want to do. You don't want to keep your armies in a big ball, because then it can be manipulated about and it can't respond to everything. It's just a big death ball.
The thing that was going on in my head, I was like, I wanted to go for the counter, but I knew I needed some forces because I just cleaned up his expansion and I was waiting for a reaction, and it came to my main base and I was expecting it, so that's why. But I thought I probably had enough with the army I sent in.
Perfect read on the game. I like that. I like the attempt at the little split off from the army. Didn't take enough of a wide angle there, but that was a really good idea. What you could do as well, this bottom army, now you've killed that army, like if you think logically about the game, you won't have two armies in the same place, so you can push, well I mean you have now, but you can push that out aggressively as soon as you've dealt with that other army. Yeah, just save a few seconds, get into better positions. As you can see now, he's moving his MCV down there because he thinks he's safe, but he's not.
Well, honestly, I think I missed that, by the way.
Did you?
Yep, lack of scouting.
You can just send like a lone rifleman into like all the positions. If it dies, there's something there. That's all you need to know, really. Juicebox really loved doing that. He'd like camp his army outside your base, send a lone rifleman to see what your defenses are, and he'd find the weak point in your armor, because he'd have like 5 rifle scouts coming into your main base at all different angles. Oh, this is a nice double prong though. This is a really nice double prong. If you wanted to do it even better, I probably would have delayed that army on the left.
So the tanks were in front. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and get the tanks in front as well in that army. But I would have delayed that on the left a bit, so he's just a bit more focused on you in his main base. Because then that army's just like, he doesn't really like pay attention to it, and if it's there for long enough, he won't like recognize its existence until it does something else. Humans can be nicely manipulated in that way. But yeah, that's a really good win, that.
Yeah, wait. There's a catch.
There's a catch? Oh god.
He said GG, and then it felt weird that he wasn't quitting.
Oh, I hate it when people do that. Oh, yep. When you say GG, that is game over. Code of conduct, go on. Some improvements I'd say is like the attacking was great, but you also gotta take care of home. Like you have 2 refs in your main base, no harvesters on them. They could have been rebuilt.
Yeah,
you were on
I sent them over to my expansion upstairs because it got attacked. But I forgot to send them back.
Yeah, just be aware of your main base. Make sure you're gonna eco and attack. But attacking wise, you're doing pretty well. I'm actually very impressed.
Thanks, man.
Like you don't see new players with this like level of attacking ability. It's very rare.
These veteran rifles, man, they're fast as fuck. But yeah, I was like, why does he say maybe not? Like, I knew he was probably in the bottom, because that's like the only... Or I was thinking he rebuilt in the top left. But I was like, besides that... why? Yeah, I was like, did I miss something so huge that he has an army sitting, I don't know, in the corner? So I made a ranger, I just went radar dome tech, helipad, just to find him as fast as I could. But I had a hunch where he was.
Yeah, it's an annoying move. Like code of conduct. There's like, if you say GG, you surrender. Like there's no questions asked. Usually, if someone says GG and they didn't surrender after 5 seconds, I just disconnect from the match. Because once you say GG, that is a verbal like cue that the game is over. Right, what we got here? We got Kaution versus Widow.
Yep.
I'll go in and pause it.
Battle control.
Yep, I'm in.
Right, pause. Right, ready?
Yep.
Right, let's go. Let's have a look.
This is the first time I played this map, by the way.
First time? Yeah. I really like this map. This is
so do I.
It's like, if I was gonna say, like, if someone asked me what is a competitive map, I'd show them this. And I was like, this is like the the most pure example of a competitive map I could show you. It's got the 2 expansions, plenty of start ore, it's got some early game objectives, it's got like the 3 paths, it's got a nice little middle. This is what I'd say is like a model competitive map.
Yeah, I like this map. Especially as there's a lot of early game aggression because of the 4 oils, obviously. Yeah. Oh, was this the early game? Okay. Here's the thing. I think in this situation, I think it was this game. I did my early game pretty well, I believe. But I got so caught up into it that my micro was shit. And I think that's why I got behind. But I can't remember exactly. But I got inspired by using a lot of early aggression by Kazu, because Kazu actually dominated on this map a few days ago.
Yeah, Kazu's really good at that early game. Looks alright so far. You got attacked by the dog. Really, the only really counter to the dog is just like go all in with just all your infantry and just push it. That's like the only real counter I've seen to it. And then Prey doesn't have the rest of his army around it.
Yep. Well, I wanted to be on the move actually, because I knew he had it, and if I would just fight it 1v1, I'll lose a lot because of the vision. And then I got his engineer, well. I think.
Oh, yep. That's so nice. Yours is still alive as well, that is really nice. Oh, you got a rocket core there. Bad micro. Yeah, in those situations, if the enemy's got his infantry really pushed up to you, sometimes it's better to go with the rifles first before the rockets.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think I was busy on my macro, and I was following your advice from earlier. Like sometimes just leave your army and focus on the macro because it's more important. Yeah. And then I probably forgot that I had put my waypoint to the oil close to his base.
Yeah. Well, you got the dog snipe.
Yep.
Looks nice and even, I would say. Don't see anything too big. Never mind. Yeah, you just pushing you have to be like really careful.
Should have put him on stop there.
Yeah, your early game rifles, like if they're the same amount, the person who is stood still first will win the fight purely by defender's advantage.
Yep.
Like you gotta be the early game rifle game is more about being in the right position than pushing into a position. Because like if you have rifles in the right places, like you just can't push into it, you just die. Yeah, it's more about being in the better position than being aggressive, I would say, or like aggressively attacking. So yeah, that war factory, perfect. As you can see, the timing, how double ref works is the timing. If you build a ranger first at the war factory and then a harb second, the harb will come out usually at the same time as the third refinery.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I had to be more macro than micro to have a chance of winning against Widow.
Yeah.
That's usually not what I do.
Time. The MCV will come out at the right time. Yeah, that's perfect. Might be a tiny bit late, but whatever. I mean, Widow doesn't have his SD down yet, so you are ahead macro-wise.
I tried to lure him in, but
yeah, you need the pillboxes queued as well. You can start building your pillbox when you start building the infantry. It's like once you get those 4 harvesters, you can just unleash the queue.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. Once you got 4, you can start unit production and static defense production. But I probably forgot.
Nice pullback on that half, but you gotta get them all off the ore field. Harvesters are stupid. They just won't avoid death. They'll just die. Like you just gotta get them out of there. They're just really dumb. Like you could have kept that half up top just to expand onto your ref really quickly. Oh wait, it's not in queue. Never mind. It should be like the timings of double ref. Usually you go SD. Well, for any build really, you go SD power plant, barracks refinery, usually the refinery will come out as soon as your MCV is deployed at the expansion.
That's true.
But if you're expanding naturally, go SD power plant RAX ref, and it'll work as well. It just depends where you want to expand to. You just got to think of the timings in your head. A nice little aggressive push, especially when you've been on the defender's side. It's really hard to like lose that psychological block to like start attacking, especially when you're on the back foot. So nice you got stuck in.
Yep.
Looks like it'll be a nice trade.
Yeah, so that's why I put my tank in front, because I knew I was barely or close to being out of range from the flame tower, so I thought it was better to just soak up the rifleman and or like the rifleman damage instead of soaking the flame tower.
That's what tanks are. They're rifleman soaks. Well, not soaks, sponges. I would say they're bullet sponges. Don't think of tanks as anything but bullet sponges. That's what they are. That's the purpose in life, to get shot at by rifles. Unless you're a heavy tank, and then you can kill enemy tanks too.
Alright, here I realized I was in trouble. Or like, I knew what was coming.
Yeah, this is not a good situation. I'm surprised Widow expanded this aggressively. Usually he's a lot more passive. Really wanted to go for the front. Probably. Yeah, he probably felt really confident, but still, you knew if you attacked, he'll probably react, and you had a lot of army there. You could have just pushed that off with an A move.
Yep.
And like, you know that he has army still in his main base, so you know his army split, whereas that's all of your army there. So that's like a cue in your head. You could have A moved into that. As a big case of force though, as you can see, like a small little blob will get picked off. And you have a harvester chilling by the service depot, just be more aware.
Yeah. There was a lot going on and a lot of pressure, and that's what you just fuck up.
Well, first-hand experience how pressure works in RA. It's not just about getting stuff done, it's about disrupting your opponent's line of thinking as well, and distracting them and just like throwing them off the game. Like you could do like a multi-pronged eco raid, not kill any harvesters, but your opponent pulling all his harvesters away, the confusion of it, then trying to deal with those attacks, it usually does more damage to himself than you do to him. It's a big part of the pressure game. Right, so we have Kaution versus Widow number 2.
Yep.
Battle control.
16 minutes. I expect a good match here. Right, you ready?
I'm ready. Yep.
Right, so Widow got the deploy down first, so speed up. God.
I think we're equal. Oh no, yeah, we were equal a little bit. Maybe 1 microsecond behind, I'm guessing. But yeah, like for some reason I like this map.
It's
like
alright map. It's alright. Don't really have an opinion on it. It's just, you know, standard map.
Yeah, this is like one of the few cases where you actually it's a small map, in my opinion, and not only that, but you spawn pretty close to each other. Like usually these size of maps, one spawns in top right and one spawns in bottom left, you know?
Yeah. I think I'd recommend doing differently though, is like you built 5 rifles, then the engineer. Usually you want to get a big clump of rifles before you get that engineer out, because it's so slow to build. Because the early game's all about getting into the best position with a nice big blob, or a split of 2 blobs or something, but more importantly getting mass into a good position. Like the Derrick can be captured second, it's not as important as like losing the infantry.
Yeah, that's true.
So I usually build 10 rifles, then the engineer, and then another 5 rifles. So like my 10 rifles are more aggressive in more advanced positions to try and catch his infantry movement, and then the 5 rifles after the engineer I'd like to protect the engineer, kind of. Usually I send 2 to the engineer and then keep 3 in my main base for Grens, because that's the timing for Grens. usually around the second power plant on double ref.
All right, makes sense.
Actually, not the second power plant, the first ref. You know, around that timing at the end of the queue.
Right.
As well, I wouldn't take your entire infantry army to capture a hospital. Usually, no one cares about the hospitals. I mean,
That's
I'd
true.
send one rifle.
But it's not for that. It's more that I'm using that to just go to his eco afterwards. It's like this is what I like to do. Like I use the entire army anyways because I want to like sneak behind his base anyways, and that's why I'm just bringing everything. Yep.
Little wraparound. One thing though that might catch you out though, if you stream infantry down to that position like we saw in the Gourmented one, if one rifle scout walks across that and sees your infantry moving there, then that entire move is scouted.
Yep,
like that rifle scout there getting shot by multiple rifles is a bit of a clue for Widow that, you know, something's going on down there. I mean, it could be like 3 rifle scouts, but you know, he's going to be a bit more cautious.
It's true. Oh, nice. Like when you're saying cautious. But because he scouted it out, I moved it back up. Because I knew he was going, he has I think it was War Factory first, I'm not sure. But I knew around this time he probably have a flak up. And because he scouted it out, that's why I pulled it back. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, if your opponent's double ref, his early vehicle will come out at the same time as your early vehicle. Like, you can predict what the enemy has at what times, purely just by looking at your own base. Because most build orders are pretty much identical, especially for double ref, until the service depot. And even after the service depot, it's usually power plant, racks, ref. So you know what he's building. Yep.
Yeah, everything seems fine here. Probably bring one of those harvesters from the single mine. Yeah, you have. Never mind. Done it. Already on the ball game here. Nice war factory out. One thing I'd recommend though, from the first game, you went for the back single ore mine. It would probably be better. You want to take the most aggressive expansion first because it's easier to expand backwards than forwards. So I would take that double ore mine, or I'd go risky and take his double ore mine on the left.
Ah, yeah, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, because if you have that, you know where the civilian building is, like north to your single ore mine. If you have an MCV around there, that single ore mine at the back is just well protected. It's screened essentially by that MCV, so you don't have to worry about expanding there. Whereas if you took the single ore mine first, pushing into that double ore mine, like directly north, is going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, makes sense. That's true. So maybe I should go for the front one first, and then later on just maybe deploy it, put a ref there, and then maybe go back.
Yeah, exactly that. Perfect. I like the waypoint movement with your armies. It's a nice little micro.
Oh yeah, because I don't want to go like... Because if you send them in one direction, usually it's not the direction you want them to have.
Yeah, you really got to babysit units, especially when you're flanking, because like if nothing's going on and all of a sudden your opponent hears a pillbox shoot, he's gonna be like, what, where, what, and then you flank ruined. Do you see here how you expanded to the single ore mine? Now do you see how much harder it would be to expand to the double ore mine? Yep. Now that he's come up and took it. Whereas if you took the double ore mine first, it'd be much easier.
Yeah, I could create a choke point easily. I could maybe wall off the top of the double ore mine there, and then put some more infantries where he has his MCV actually, and that would be a nice choke point with my main.
Yeah, this game's all about positioning, I would say. You just being in a good position will usually save you. This is a nice little flank. Do you see the reaction he does? Do you see how like open the top left is now? That's what you got to be thinking in your head when you do these attacks. You're going to be pulling him out of position. He's going to react to it. And then these armies on the left can go aggressive. this is gonna be a nice little map up. But like that infantry army in the barracks in the top right, that could be attacking. Just send some tanks to it. You can push out on the top. Like if he didn't send that army back down to his main, you'll just encounter it, and then you can just move backwards. You can just retreat from it. Like people don't tactically retreat enough. Like you can, you know, engage a fight and then run away. It's fine. Yeah, this is a nice little flank on the top as well.
Yeah, but I should have used it earlier. Okay, now the reason this was pretty nice, I believe, for myself. The reason I put some of my army in south of the main is because I knew he sent some of his army back to his main, and I didn't see it up top. So I had a feeling something was gonna happen down here.
Yeah, it looks like he's cut you out on the top. Like, if you expanded aggressively first, that whole situation would have been avoided. Got a nice little tank flank going on.
Yeah, that's the... Oh yeah, I'll tell you about that later. But... So yeah, I thought like, I'm gonna move my MCV back and I need to put some defenses here if I want to hold this expansion even.
Yeah. You should be thinking as well about getting another expansion now. Yeah, your ore's running a bit low. Like you probably want to unpack your main MCV and go bottom. It's quite risky, but you've got an army there to take it.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's a nice little tank flank. It's just annoying. Do you see how it just pulls that whole army back just because it's just annoying and he needs to like deal with it? It's just so useful. It's like, it's 5 tanks. Like it wouldn't normally be a problem. It's medium tanks too. They suck, but just because they're in a nice position, it just annoys the opponent and forces them to like bring stuff.
Yep. And then he flanked me as well.
Yeah, flanks happen. Just got to respond well to it. Yeah, pulled your harvesters out. Perfect. Probably we want to priority queue another ref just to place and sell, just to get the harvester back.
Believe me, the 5 tanks over here, they're gonna come back a lot. You'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the scout in the army, you see, he's got a huge army just completely out of position. Like that should, like, if you then compare it to your force, you should know that he probably has nothing up top in that north position. You probably just move into it, destroy it, and then move the army back to your main base to deny the counter attack. So you're going for the main base though.
Yeah, because I was thinking about what you said a lot of times. Instead of, like, some people pointed out in a lot of my replays, usually instead of going for an expansion or like the normal route to go for the main, you should just skip the expansions and go straight for the middle sometimes.
Oh yeah, take the unexpected attack. It works very well. As well, you know, you killed his MCV, which is probably his main base MCV, so it's even more exposed. This is really nice. Nice little 1-2. It's got a nice little counter attack though.
Yep.
Well, that's no damage, just like just build a ref. Like, you just place the ref and sell it, and you get the harvester out of it, and you get some money back from it.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea. Damn, why didn't I even think of that? And it doesn't screw up your vehicle production at the same time.
Yeah, you still produce tank. Usually you'll find...
So dumb.
It's fine, you're learning. But usually there's like a time like where there's no like reason to tack or anything. You can just build a refinery, get a harvester back, just sell it.
Right, now those...
I'm not sure how much you get.
The original tanks that were screwing around in the bottom are now up top.
You just want to keep them being annoying. You just want to keep your opponent annoyed, because being annoyed means they make mistakes.
Like, I still think in some occasions I had bad engagements. Like, I did some bad engagements of his expansion up top.
As long as you trade alright, like you can trade like not in your favor, but as long as it's alright, it's usually not a problem. Because like you'll produce.
I don't think it was alright. If you look at the combat stats right now, I don't think it was alright.
Ooh. Ooh.
See? That's what I mean. So, the game was going pretty well, and then
Yeah, I've won games with worse combat stats. Don't worry. you just gotta work at when you've when the surprise is worn off of an attack, learning how to like just keep it still somewhere nice, so that the enemy has to trade a lot attacking into it. And usually that's what pads your combat stats up a bit, because then they really have to like devote some forces to taking it out. This is a very scrappy game as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you have no expansion there. You should have tried to get one a lot sooner, especially being on a single ore mine.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what usually costed me, I believe, just lack of expanding.
Well, one thing, I'm really impressed if you're attacking though. Like, I've not seen a new player with like this much confidence in attacking, like ever.
It's because I've been, when I was practicing, I was so passive and afraid of all of these people that I was playing that I couldn't get anything done because I was more paranoid than anything else. So I just completely changed that way of thinking. And even with some of the best players I played, like not of the best, but just good players, like Widow. Widow was, after the game, he was giving me, he said I was really good with the medium tanks, and they're still alive. They're still harassing all the time. So
yeah, I mean, perfect. Like, you can't teach that aggression. You just gotta have it. You know what I mean? That like proactivity. It's very hard to teach it.
Too bad you can't see how many harvester kills I had actually, because I think I had a lot. Oh, one of them has veteran C2 already.
Well, I can see Widow only has 3 harvesters right now. You probably could have come back in this game. You have 6 halves if you got an expansion out fast. Oh, we capture MCV top left, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it.
It was 7 halves versus 2. Like this if you got another expansion, this probably would have been in your favor. But
probably where? Like I believe I didn't have an well, bottom is pretty, yeah. There's I should have done it sooner. I agree, like a lot sooner. And because I didn't do that now or back then, I'm in trouble now. Like
because for example, your very first expansion, if you went for that double ore mine north, secured those 3 ore holes, you probably would have won this match with your eco raids and all sorts.
It's good to know. Yeah, the 3 medium tanks were really my MVPs there.
Yeah, they're really nice attacks. But yeah, I'm very impressed. You just got to focus on the macro back home now.
Yep.
You know, making sure that's solid, and then doing both at the same time, which is then the hard part, attacking and macroing. And now that took a bit of a while getting used to.
Man, this was unfortunate. Just when I wanted to see if any, I knew there was an expansion there, and I wanted to take it in a different way, like sneak in from behind. Because the thing is, why I thought I had a chance is, well, I cleaned up most of his bane, which was his war factory, his SD. So I knew I fucked up, or I messed up a bit of his eco and vehicle production and such. But yeah, the lack of eco and ore patches that I had and lack of expansions was what killed me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, everything else perfect. Look at that little raid bottom right. It's like beautiful. But yeah,
well, they got killed for it. Thanks, man.
You just got to focus on the macro and then doing both at the same time.
Battle control.
Yeah, so that's still the hardest part.
That will be very hard. Like how I did it when I was learning. I'd just count in my head. I'd count to 10, macro. Count to 10, go back to my army. Count to 10, go back to my. And just make it like a clock in my head. You know, to switch between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, I still need to remember that. So
there's a lot of micro tricks you can do with your armies and aircraft, like to get time into to macro. Like for example, if you're using aircraft, what you can do is like move them away from the battlefield to like the edge of the map, and then go macro, and then go back to them and bring them back. You know, just to make sure they're safe.
Yeah, I'm doing that with when I go War Factory first, for example. Like sometimes it happens the moment I want to go into their main for scouting, let's say my war factory is done, or no, let's say like a barracks or a PP or whatever. So then I press S to stop him, so he's safe. Then go back to main, place it down, and then I'll go scouting.
Yeah, perfect. Just like with armies, just press S, put the tanks where you think they'll attack from, and then do your macro, go back to it.
Alright, man.
Or retreat them away.
I wanted to thank you for analyzing my 3 matches.
No problem.
And there's still a lot I need to focus on, but I'm heading in the right direction, so thank you.
You are heading in a very good direction, I would say, in my professional opinion.
Alright, nice. We got a professional opinion, boys. We got a professional in here. Alright, well, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Hope you learned something as well from Happy, and we'll see you again in the next one. Stay cautious.